Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing The Punch and we have a story.
Yeah, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has demanded a refund of 4.71 trillion naira from the federal government to settle outstanding debts used to import premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, into the country. The claim was listed as exchange rate differential on PMS and other joint ventures taxes on petrol products imported by the company between August 2023 and June 2024. This was disclosed by the Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, at the June meeting of the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee. Yes, so, and they also explained that exchange rate differentials refer to the income accrued to the banks or government agencies from the difference in value between two currencies at different times through foreign exchange sales and purchase prices. They also stated that this development means that the government will support fuel imports by covering the difference between the projected rate and the actual expenses incurred by NNPC for importing petroleum products into the country. We know what this means. It means that this contradicts that government claims that they have removed subsidy. So if they are paying that, then what are we talking about? So that means they are paying subsidy. But then he also added that companies have also sought for an extension of the period to pay or to cover the differential rate. They've sought for an extension of time, but they were advised to write to the National Economic Council requesting approval. So when it comes to this subsidy issue, we don't know whether government is in or out, whether they've removed or they've not removed. They need to make up their mind. Yeah, let them talk one. But anyway, when they subsidize and help in paying that off, it makes our lives easier and makes petrol available anyways.
What do we want?
So the major headline was talking about the hunger protest. It was a very detailed story, the back and forth. Amnesty International said there were use of live bullets. People were killed in the protest. The police, the military said they didn't use excessive force or live bullets on any of the protesters, that any loss of life that happened was not carried out by the military or the police exerting force on them. So where the truth is, I don't know, but in Niger State, 6 people were feared killed when the protesters reportedly attempted to invade a police station. They also said 4 people died on the spot, 2 sustained gun injuries. A lot of, just a recap on the impact of the protest for Gombe. The victims also came out. Even in Kano, businesses and several buildings that were demolished have come out to seek bailout and support to restore their businesses. Somebody was like, he just returned from the grandfather's house, and in front of his, right in front of his house, he was accosted and beaten. He has fractures on his body because he didn't join the protest. Somebody else, as like there were several, like we are now getting, I'm happy about the detail, but it's just so sad that we're not getting as much coverage of the impact as we should. The protest, yes, might have been rightly motivated, but the sad impact of the costs across government infrastructure and even, most importantly, private citizens who are now having to deal with the side effects of the protest.
Governor of Taraba, one of the governors up north was on the show yesterday, and he was talking about the style of it up north. So a lot of people who were protesting, they just hear say, yay.
They just moved.
They did not know anything, they just moved. And so if you refuse to join in the rough play, drag you in. You know?
I have the president and CEO of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote. He has stated that his 20 billion Dangote petroleum refinery was built to use Nigerian crude and add value to it within the country. And he said that that was the focus of the refinery, and why should the plant deviate from that focus? But he also admitted that the refinery has also been refining crude oil grades from Europe and the United States and also other countries. That's because there's some issues with the domestic crude oil supply. He says that the refinery has already affected crude flows, with dozens of Nigerian cargoes remaining in country, US WTI Midland. So I guess he's also talking to stakeholders, because a lot of these things sounds quite technical. A comparable light sweet grade being imported. It said that the mega refinery could therefore tighten the light sweet crude market. He said that, a lot of things, were explained here. He says Nigeria, the crude initially emerged as the favored feedstock, that's the WTI midline I mentioned earlier, to supplement Nigerian supply. The refinery also signed long-term supply contracts for the US grade and noticed its competitive pricing. Anyway, we're going to be getting supplies from
a few other places,
yeah, from a few other places.
Built for
yes,
Nigerian
but
crude.
that definitely it is built for our own, to bring value to our own country. But definitely, it looks like we would need more supply from various.
Moving on to Daily Sun, major headline: NLC spits fire over raid of headquarters, threatening industrial action, and the DSS denies the allegation. In other news, inflation: Kano government mulls establishment of price control agency. IPAC Ganduje Okutepa task judiciary on credibility, insists judiciary must distance itself from politics and politicians. Abducted pastor regains freedom in Rivers. Two injured, vehicles burnt as gas explodes in Lagos. We're taking that story. Governor orders probe as 20 die in Bayelsa, boat mishap, and generator film kills woman, 3 children, and 2 others in Abia State. Such a sad story. So please, what's happening with inflation and...
Actually, of Kano.
Oh, yeah, please, we need that one.
So the governor of Kano said, according to his spokesperson, Sanusi Bature Dawaki yesterday, they are looking. They're not emphatically saying that they're going to do it, but they have noticed that post-protest and after the relaxing of curfew, prices of basic commodities, especially staple foods, had
even gone higher.
Skyrocketed unimaginable levels. And they are, appealing to stakeholders to reduce prices, while they're also appealing to businessmen to come and invest in Kano and revive their existing moribund industries across the state. They're also hinting at establishing, a price control board with a view to addressing the artificial inflation. The governor, expressed readiness to arrange an interactive session between government and parliamentarians from the state to create a forum to support businesses and industries. He also, the chairman, Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission, Muhui Bagaji Rimin Gado, disclosed that the agency has received over 156 complaints within the last 2 days regarding the skyrocketing prices of basic commodities. He pledged to collaborate with business community to ensure that they have a stable business, but they're just looking to, to finding a way to solving that problem.
Okay. Yeah, so I have the sad story of the 20 born people. 20 persons were confirmed dead in a boat mishap that occurred on Wednesday at Eze-1 River, Southern Ijaw local government of Bayelsa State. Investigations revealed that the boat, popularly called Dege Market Boat, is a long, big boat that set sail on Monday and moves from community to community, picking up people and picking up traders to arrive in Yenegua every Thursday. The peculiarity of the boat is one that the passengers are allowed to cook and eat while the boat is still, in transit. And whilst they were in the middle of the river, the boat exploded, the engine exploded, and then burnt people. And the people, those that could dive into the water, they did. But then they're saying that there was high casualty because they didn't stick to the safety precautions of wearing life jackets, right? And so it caused, because of the distance of where it happened, and before rescue could come, people had drowned. Those that didn't get burnt, that jumped into the river, they couldn't stay, still drowned because of that. Governor Diri, in a statement by his chief press secretary, Daniel Alabra, expressed his condolences to the state government, to families of victims of the mishap. And we're saying, may they rest in peace, condolence to the families. And he's also directing relevant ministries to immediately join the rescue efforts, because so far, only one body has been seen. Yes, so they're really trying to get as much bodies as they can in order to return them to the families.
Death from boat mishap is one of those that are it shouldn't even be happening, because everybody's taking their wearing life jackets very, very seriously. But we just take it for granted, because you went yesterday, you went there for yesterday, and nothing happens. You don't.
But they're traders, so
like
they keep going. Yeah.
Please, I want to take the story of, this is another sad story. Maybe Mariam will bring us good news when she's taking her own. But generator films kill 6 people actually, in Abia State. So this happened in Okwa West local government area of Abia State. A mother, her 3 children, her younger sister, and her brother-in-law were all in the house. and they switched on the generator, not in the house, but outside, but just by the window. It's just a room, and the window was open to where the generator fumes were coming in. All died. All. The only person that survived out of the family of 7 was the husband, who was not in the house.
Imagine.
And we've heard these stories over and over again, but I think maybe because we think of the generator inside the house, but even
Safe.
if it is outside,
You don't have.
if it is by the window, you still get the fumes in. Mariam.
You said good news. Remember when Nima picked up the son today, she says, how come there's just bad news everywhere? So I made it a point to look for the good news. They says that there are indications that the abducted pastor Kingsley Anosike of Light Intercessors Church branch located at Chimezie Street, Ebelu axis of Oyigbo local government area of Rivers State, and 3 other clerics have regained their freedom from captivity. They have been in captivity for 5 days. So the story was that the church had invited a guest pastor, Bishop Blessed Moses Uzuoma of Endtime Fire Intercessory Ministries, and he came in with 3 of his clerics. He says while he was on the podium preaching, according to an eyewitness, he said the kidnappers came in shooting sporadically for 20 minutes without security intervention. But they said that it seemed that they were targeting this guest pastor, Blessed, and that when they shot at him, vanished. Not see him again. And so the kidnappers now kidnapped the host pastor and the clerics that came with him, and they had asked for 100 million first as ransom, which eventually they reduced to 20 million. At the time of this report, there's no confirmation if they paid the ransom or not, but they have confirmed that they have been released after 5 days in captivity.
All right, so our final paper for today, Nigerian Tribune. There's many of the stories we've taken already, but we haven't taken the story on immigration suspending suspense officer begging traveler for money at the airport. We also need to take that the court sentenced 59 internet fraudsters to prison in Oyo, Ogun, but we need to take that immigration.
I have the NIA story because it was trending. So the Controller General came in and through the services spokesperson, the services public relations officer, Kenneth Udo, has released a statement where they said that the officer, his name is Okpavero Siu, former and Assistant Superintendent of Immigration at the Muritala Mohammed Airport, International Airport in Lagos, has been indefinitely suspended. And they said that, that they condemn his misconduct in the strongest terms. They said that the officer is before their disciplinary committee, where he's being investigated, and until the outcome of that disciplinary procedure, he's been suspended, and the probing will be done within the law and public service rules. And they're also informing Nigerians that very soon they will have their e-gates across all the airports to ensure that, to reduce this interaction so that such payments will be...
I'm very happy that was a response, swift response. Looks like we're on the right track on, investigating this. But we need to point out to the ministry that this is not just a one-off. This is something that is quite constant. It just happened that this person was picked. And I hope that beyond the e-gates, we can also have some sort of cameras that both officials and visitors are aware of, and that will help curb this sort of behavior.
That's a very good suggestion, but I'm happy that there's the ones that we hear of, justice is meted out. It will probably take a while, but when they see 1 or 2 losing their job over small bribe,
it's a normal thing at the airports.
All right, so that's all we can take on Front Page Review for today. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we're going to our hot topic. We have something really hot. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.